I'm Tommy Humphries for Kitco and Cambridge House at the California Resource Investment Conference in beautiful Indian Wells. I'm joined by my friend Bill Murphy. Bill, how are you doing?
Tommy, good to see you again, as always.
Bill was a Patriots wide receiver in a past life and a broker and a futures trader who made and lost more money than most people ever dream of. In 1999, he founded GATA, the Gold Antitrust Action Committee, when gold was under $300, and since then he's been one of the most outspoken advocates for a higher gold price. Bill, where's GATA and gold going from here?
Well, as Tommy said, when we founded GATA in 1999, we realized the price was being artificially suppressed, and we knew the supply-demand situation was much better than anybody else was talking about. And gold's been up 12 years in a row, and it's going to keep on going because this gold cartel, which consists of the bullion banks, the U.S. government, the Fed, the Treasury, Exchange Stabilization Fund, other central banks like the Bank of England, all they can do is manage the retreat. So when you have all these setbacks and everyone's talking about what it really means, it doesn't mean anything except the bad guys, the gold cartel, are most of the time anyway, are just knocking down the price. The Chinese, Russians, and all the rest of the world steps in and says, thank you very much, and they buy it up, and we go make new highs again.
So do you think that the same things that you were speaking against 10 years ago are still in the market today? The same corruption and potential conspiracy?
It's a great question. I have never seen the gold cartel on a day-to-day basis be so obvious and so active as they are now. As I said, the readership and can watch it. 3 a.m. New York time, Plan A, they attack when the London gold card traders go to work. After the physical pricing is done for the day at the PM fix about 10 or 10:30, they attack then a lot as Plan B. And then once the COMEX is closed in the access market, when there's less trading, Plan C. If you notice the shares aren't as mysteriously crummy, it usually is a signal the next day they're going to attack the gold price. Gold and silver doing something like this, all of a sudden silver goes all of a sudden fading for no reason. All of a sudden, the next day or later in the day, gold gets hit. Watch. I encourage everyone just to watch this. And recently, I've never seen it so aggressive, and that tells me they're getting more desperate because it's so obvious. So I think it's going to lead imminently to something spectacular on the upside, especially silver, which I think is in play.
Have a breakout soon. So why don't you think the media pays any attention to this? And it's obviously something that you fight constantly.
It's unbelievable. The Chinese will talk about us, the Russians will talk about us, but there's no free press in America. GATA, just by the nature of what we do, is taking on the richest and most powerful people in the world. And a gold price going up is bad for business. It's like a mafia thing. You know, it's not good for the politicians because they say, oh, look at the price of gold doing this. What does it mean? Too much inflation, bad for the dollar, a crisis, physical houses not being in order. Gold's a barometer. And the powers to be in the banks, who makes money when gold goes up? Wall Street doesn't. And it's not, again, as I said earlier, it's not good for the politicians, so they suppress the price. It's been going on and on and on, and GATA has this all categorized. We're not just making this stuff up. If anybody goes to GATA.org, you can see we have this all documented for like 12, 13 years. It's all there.
So gold's up like sevenfold since, or sixfold since you started GATA. And I'm wondering at what point do you and do Chris Powell and the GATA sail off into the sunset? At what point is your work done?
Well, I'm having too much fun to sail off into the sunset. What else would I do?
Oh, fair enough.
But at Gold Rush 21, we've had 4 international conferences. This one was in August of 2005. Incredible conference, way up in the Yukon, Dawson City. And the price of gold was $436 then. And I was pounding the table that it would take $3,000 to $5,000 gold to clear the market. Now, that may be way too conservative now, but we're well on the way there. And I think silver is going to go above 100. And if this all happens, then I'll have made a lot of money again, and then I can just, maybe I can go interview you.
Right on, Bill. So tell me, what do you think is going to ignite the junior mining shares, the precious metal shares?
If there's anything I've been wrong on, it's been what these shares would do. If you'd have told me years ago that gold would be at 1,700 and silver at 33, and many of the shares would have stunk up the place, I would say this can't happen. But it has happened. And what I would like to say is that I think it's the most incredible investment opportunity ever. It'd be like Newton's law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. As bad as it's been for the last few years, it's going to be that good. And it's be like a mania, like internet mania. And
you think